Today I will be starting a new What If Deku was One Punch Man Part 1, so let's begin. When Deku was 4, Inko took him to the Quirk doctor, where he learned that he was quirkless, and then bullied for the next 10 years by his classmates who all have quirks like 80% of the population. When Deku was 14, the teacher tells the class that it's time they start looking towards the future, saying that he would usually give out a career aptitude test, but he knows that everyone wants to go to the hero course, with Bakugo making fun of everyone, bragging about going to UA and being the richest and most popular hero, with the teacher revealing that Deku also wanted to go to UA, with everyone laughing and Bakugo bullying him, telling him he would never become a hero. While walking home, Deku is attacked by the Sludge villain, however saved by All Might beating the villain in one punch, scattering chunks of sludge everywhere and knocking Deku out. After collecting the villain in 2 bottles, he wakes up Deku, and prepares to leave jumping through the air, but Deku grabs on his leg, forcing All Might to land. While All Might prepares to leave again, Deku tells All Might his story, about wanting to be a hero despite being quirkless. Suddenly All Might deflates, spitting out blood, looking like a skeleton, explaining how he is All Might, also showing his injury, and crushing Deku's dreams, telling him that he can't be a hero, before going down the stairs realizing he dropped the bottle, hearing an explosion in the distance, running there, seeing that the Sludge villain has someone hostage, however can't do anything because he had used all his time as All Might. Eventually Deku arrived, realizing Bakugo is the hostage, so started running without thinking, throwing his bag into the Sludge villain's eyes, disorientating it, clawing at the sludge, desperately trying to save Bakugo. After recovering, the Sludge villain attempts to crush Deku, but All Might appears, blowing the villain away, changing the weather. After being yelled at by the pro heroes, Deku goes home, being found by All Might, telling him his actions not only inspired him to act, but it also inspires him into choosing Deku as his successor, telling him he can become a hero. For the training to inherit One for All, as well as cleaning the beach, Deku also did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats and 10-kilometer run every single day. And made sure to have 3 meals a day, even if it's just a banana for breakfast, and also trained his mind by turning off the air conditioning or heating even in summer or winter. At the beginning he wished he was dead, started thinking of taking what's the harm of taking a day off. However, he realized that in order to be a strong hero, no matter how tough it was, even if he was spitting blood, he would never stop. He kept doing squats even when his legs were so heavy, they refused to move. Even when his arms started making weird clicking noises, he kept doing his push-ups. Until 6 months into the 10-month training, he started to notice a difference. He was bald and had become stronger. Just kidding, I'm not maiming the broccoli. Deku needs his hair. However, he did become stronger, much stronger, to the point where he could beat All Might in a fight, without inheriting One for All. On the last day before the entrance exam, All Might proposes to give Deku One for All, but Deku rejects his offer, telling him that he doesn't think he needs it anymore, and wants All Might to continue to be the symbol of peace for as long as he can. On the day of the exam, Deku destroys all the robots before anyone could even reach one, forcing Nezu to deploy multiple zero-pointers, with Deku also destroying them in one punch, then seeing Ochako trapped under rubble, with a zero-pointer moving towards her about to crush her, so he uses a normal punch, obliterating the robot instantly, leaving no remains, due to blowing it into space. Due to there being no robots left, the test ended 14 minutes early, everyone in that zone except Deku having to wait to redo the test. 1 week later, Deku received his UA acceptance letter, with his result being a maths error, absolutely obliterating All Might's score. When Deku walks in on the first day of school, everyone in the same zone as Deku during the acceptance test looked at him with all bombarding him about questions about his quirk, annoying Bakugo, but before he could attack Deku, Eraserhead, their homeroom teacher, interrupts, telling all the students to get into the PE uniform and go to the PE ground. Aizawa explains that they will be having a Quirk Apprehension test that will try out their quirks since they were not able to use their quirks in middle school, tossing a ball at Deku, asking him to throw the ball as far as he could, erasing his quirk as he did so, but it did nothing, as Deku easily threw it into orbit, scoring infinity. Then completing the test with maximum results for every test, which makes Bakugo give up holding back, charging towards Deku, demanding to know how he got a quirk, but before he could reach Deku, Aizawa uses his quirk to deactivate Bakugo's quirk, grabbing him with his capture scarf, informing Bakugo if he acts up like that again, he would be expelled. Deku then apologizes to Bakugo for him getting yelled at, telling Bakugo that he is still quirkless because last time I checked, you can't just lose a joint in your toe. I just worked very hard. This just annoys Bakugo even more, as he yells that he is lying and he knows that he has been tricking him this whole time, laughing at him while looking down at him, then slapping Deku's hand away, storming off. After completing all the tests, Shota presents the results, and as he does, he reveals the expulsion rule was a lie and that it was a logical ruse to pull out their best performances, which shocks Deku, Ochako, and Tenya. Shota tells his students that their curriculum sheets are in the classroom and tells Deku to go to Nezu's office to have a talk about his quirkless situation. When Deku arrives in the office, all the UA staff were there asking Aizawa if his quirk worked to confirm that he was actually quirkless, with Aizawa confirming not, shocking most teachers in the room. After that, Nezu tells Deku the harms of being a quirkless person with that much power to society, as their society isn't ready for that level of power, asking Deku to say that he has a power-type quirk, but Deku rejects, telling them that he wants to give hope to quirkless people like himself. that they too can become a hero, so if someone asks what my quirk is I will tell them I'm quirkless, not that they would believe it anyway so they have nothing to fear, then bowing thanking them for the concern, then leaving to go home, meeting up with Ochako and Ida, becoming friends, with them asking why Nezu wanted to talk to him with Deku giving the rundown of the conversation, with them still kind of not believing that Deku was quirkless, but have no reason not to trust him. The next day after the normal lessons end, Class 1 has their foundational heroics studies with the number 1 hero, All Might, much to Deku's excitement, as he knows that All Might is the only person who can even try to challenge him, oh yeah, and because he is his idol. All Might says that they will be building up their hero foundation through various trials, telling them that their first trial will be the trial of battle. All Might tells his students to go and get changed into their hero costumes, and to meet at Ground Beta. Once outside and changed, everyone compliments each other on their costumes, with Deku's not being One Punch Man's because it just doesn't look that good on Deku, so he will have his normal garbage starter costume. After everyone stopped talking, All Might explains the hero vs villain training trial, then pairing everyone through random lottery, with Deku being matched with Ochako and against Bakugo and Ida. Seeing this, Deku says that's not fair, which makes Bakugo smile because he thought that Deku was scared, but Deku expanded on what he meant, saying that he should have to fight the whole class and All Might because, for last 4 months, he had beaten All Might in every fight, shocking the class, with them asking if it's true, with All Might agreeing to the proposition, under the condition that Deku beats them in only 1 minute, with most of the class thinking, Deku is strong, but it's impossible for him to beat the whole class in 1 minute let alone All Might. However, to their shock Deku beat them all in less than 5 seconds with a single punch each, with them all spending the rest of the day in Recovery Girl's office, with Deku profusely apologizing to everyone, promising that he will learn to hold back more. The next day, Aizawa went over the footage, telling the class to try harder, and asked Deku if he even tried, with Deku awkwardly saying no. For the last 4 months, he had really struggled to even have to put a single bit of effort in a fight, even All Might, shocking the whole class, who thought Deku used all his power. Hearing this Aizawa said thought as much, then telling the students to choose a class president, with Deku winning by a large margin. At lunch, Deku, Ochako and Ida are at a table talking about Ida's hero family when the security alarm goes off indicating that someone had infiltrated the school, sending all the students into a panic, pushing people out of the way so they could escape, but whenever someone tried to push past Deku, they would hurt themselves, or fall over. Eventually Ida informs the students that it's just the media, calming everyone down, as the intruders are escorted out of the premises by the police. Back in Class 1, Izuku makes an announcement, that he is resigning as class president and declares Tenya to be his successor, saying that Tenya is the right choice after seeing his actions in the lunch hall. Thus, Tenya officially becomes the class president of 1. On the following day, Class 1am go off grounds to the USJ, and while on the bus, Zu compares Deku's quirk to All Might's, with Deku thanking her for comparing his strength to All Might's, but Deku then corrects her reminding her that he is quirkless, always have been, with most of the class still not believing he is. When they arrive at the USJ, they are met by Space Hero 13, who gives a speech on dangers of quirks, and the rundown of what they will be doing for the day. After the speech is finished, Eraserhead notices a black portal opening up and dozens of villains exiting, noticing a massive black figure, with a beak and its brain sticking out, a purple cloudy figure, and the boss who is covered in hands. Seeing this, he tells the students to evacuate, jumping down to engage them, but before he can land, Deku had already knocked out all the small villains, leaving only the main 3. Shocked to see this, Shigaraki orders the No-Mew to attack Deku, with it constantly punching him in the span of seconds, with Shigaraki laughing, expecting Deku to be dead, saying you fool, No-Mew has been modified to take down All Might, you never had a chance, as even if you land a punch, No-Mew has shock absorption and hyper-regeneration so it won't do anything to him. Meanwhile Deku, stands still with no damage getting bored, deciding to finish the No-Mew, blocking its punch with a single finger. Then exploding it with a single punch, sending chunks of No-Mew all across the USJ, saying, wow, you weren't lying, that No-Mew really was even stronger than All Might. Now even more shocked, Shigaraki orders Kurogiri to warp them out, yelling you haven't seen the last of the League of Villains, just you wait. After checking the grounds for more villains, the teachers call the police, to take the 70+ villains Deku took down to jail. Once everything is taken care of and the police have collected the students' statements, Aizawa yells at Deku for defying his orders, demanding that he writes a 5-page apology essay, about the dangers of defying orders, and the laws he broke doing that stunt, then telling Deku it's only a formality, thanking him for protecting the class, letting him get on the bus with the rest of the students who also thank him, except Bakugo, who just growls knowing he would have lost against the No-Mew, yet Deku beat him with ease. After some time of school due to the attack, Class 1am return back to school where Aizawa announces the UA Sports Festival, and collects Deku's apology letter, surprised that Deku wrote 20 pages because he is a nerd and had time to waste and it only took him seconds to write. At lunch, All Might finds Deku, inviting him for lunch, where he thanks Deku for protecting the class, due to him not being there, and his time limit being shorter than he would like. Changing the topic, All Might tells Deku to tell the world at the UA Sports Festival that he is the next generation's All Might, shocking Deku, who still feels he is not ready to replace him despite his overwhelming power. Noticing this, All Might reassure Deku that he won't force him, but reminds him not to forget his strong feelings when they were training with each other for the entrance exam. Okay guys, this is where I am going to be ending this video. Sorry it took me so long to upload this video, I had a lot of work to do, but I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.